Mosaic, a daily news program from Link TV, presents a selection of news reports from independent and state-controlled broadcasters from throughout the Middle East.
Iraqi Prime Minister Iyad Allawi refuted statements made by two ministers from his cabinet. He denied any plans for a wide-scale military operation in Mosul, in contrast to earlier statements made by the Minister of National Affairs, Qasem Dawood. Allawi also dismissed statements made by the Minister of Defense, Hazem Shalan, concerning seeking help from Egypt and countries in the Arabian Gulf to encourage Sunni Iraqis to participate in the elections. Allawi's remarks were made as violence erupted in Iraq once again, with the Iraqi police being the main target. A suicide car bomb attack in Hills Police Academy kills and wounds dozens of people.
The criminals attacked the facility where they trained the young men from the Babel police station. They detonated a car at the recreation center in Babel.
Early this morning, a suicide bomber detonated a car bomb near a U.S. military convoy in the Amaria neighborhood west of Baghdad, killing and wounding several people. And in the Dura district, southwest of Baghdad, gunmen assassinated the director of the Ministry of Commerce. Armed fighters are waging attacks aimed at ruining the Iraqi elections scheduled for January 30th. They also want to hinder the efforts of the U.S.-supported Iraqi interim government and scare voters away.
About 6 civilians were wounded and 2 people were killed.
Nevertheless, Iraqi Prime Minister Iyad Allawi assures that the Iraqi elections will be held on the scheduled date.
The government is committed to conducting the elections on the scheduled time. This decision was agreed upon in Iraq and at the Security Council.
Dozens of Iraqis marched in the funeral procession of Baghdad's governor, Ali al-Hadari, the first top Iraqi official to be assassinated in 8 months. The ambush proves that the Iraqi fighters are able to attack the Iraqi ruling class. Renewed doubts are surfacing on whether the Iraqi police will be able to provide security for politicians and voters on election day. Abu Musab al-Zarqawi's group, linked to al-Qaeda, claimed responsibility for the attack. The armed fighters are attacking Iraqi officials and security officers, accusing them of collaborating with the occupying forces.
His Majesty King Abdullah, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, has witnessed a military drill carried out by troops of the Eastern Military Zone. At the start of the exercise, the King listened to briefings by the zone commander and senior officers on the tasks the units are entrusted with in the Eastern Zone and on the operations involved in the drill. The King then followed up the field applications, which involved the use of helicopters and fire from various medium and light arms. The drill was attended by Chief of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Lieutenant General Khalid Jamil al-Saraira, the King's Special Advisor, Yusuf Dalabih, and senior military officers. Prime Minister Faisal al-Fayez met with Kuwaiti Foreign Minister Mohammed Sabah al-Salam al-Sabah, who arrived in Amman earlier today to take part in a meeting for Iraq's neighboring countries to be held in Amman tomorrow. The talks, attended also by Foreign Minister Hani al-Mulki, touched on means to bolster ties between the two countries, as well as the situation in Iraq and elections to be held there at the end of this month. After the meeting, Mulki and his Kuwaiti counterpart told reporters that the two sides share identical views towards elections in Iraq and the need for all Iraqi people to take part in them. Earlier, the Prime Minister received some Arab environment ministers and participants in the meeting of the Regional Committee for the Preservation of the Red Sea Environment, which was concluded in Amman today. Preliminary meetings for tomorrow's conference of Iraq's neighboring countries have started in Amman to discuss the draft communique. 7 countries, as well as the UN envoy in Iraq, are taking part in the ministerial meeting, expected to discuss the situation in Iraq, the elections planned later this month, bilateral ties, as well as other issues of common concern. Iran will be represented by its Assistant Foreign Minister for International and Legal Affairs. Meanwhile, delegates participating in the conference started to arrive in Amman. Kuwaiti Foreign Minister Mohammed Sabah al-Salam al-Sabah and Iran's Assistant Foreign Minister for International and Legal Affairs, Ghulam Ali Khashro, were the first to arrive. Expressing hope that the meeting will ease the situation to conduct the elections in Iraq, Khashro said all Iraq's neighbors look forward for a secure and stable Iraq. The foreign ministers of Turkey, Egypt, and Bahrain also arrived in Amman to take part in the meeting.